So what's going on, people? It's JM Speedboxing. Make sure you subscribe to my channel before you click onto my videos. Also comment below in the comment section if you have any opinions on what I'm saying in my videos. So on June the 3rd, heavyweight contender DILLIAN WHYTE will be back in action at the O2 Arena. He'll be headlining a fight night show on Sky Sports. He was meant to fight on the May 27th pay-per-view undercard between Kell Brook and Errol Spence, but his promoter Eddie Hearn decided to wait another week and let him headline his own show on June the 3rd. DILLIAN WHYTE has become a very big character in British boxing over the past year, especially since his fight with Anthony Joshua. The whole build up to that fight was very entertaining, and he managed to sell, him and Joshua managed to sell 400,000 pay-per-view buys for a British title fight. That's unbelievable. Not a world title fight, a British title fight, a British and Commonwealth title fight. That's just crazy to think that level of fight sold 400,000 pay-per-view buys. That's how big of a draw Anthony Joshua is, and how much DILLIAN WHYTE built up the fight by being entertaining in the build-up. And he was very tough in the fight. He took Joshua 7 rounds. He managed to shake Joshua in the second round, and it was a very entertaining fight, and a lot of people got behind DILLIAN WHYTE after that fight, even though he lost. And he's one of them characters, DILLIAN WHYTE. You either like him or you don't like him. He's very Marmite in that sense. In my opinion, I think DILLIAN WHYTE's very good for boxing. I like DILLIAN WHYTE. I like anybody who can build a fight and shows character in their personality, and I think DILLIAN WHYTE is a very volatile character, but he still manages to build fights and he gets the public interested when he fights, so that's a good thing in my opinion. So there's 4 possible opponents for DILLIAN WHYTE to fight on June the 3rd. The first one is Bryant Jennings. Bryant Jennings recently came over to the UK to support David Haye because he was David Haye's sparring partner during his training camp, ready for the Tony Bellew fight. And Bryant Jennings did an interview on IFL TV on YouTube and said that DILLIAN WHYTE can't fuck with him in a boxing ring, and then DILLIAN WHYTE heard this, and you know what DILLIAN WHYTE's like. He's going to go and confront whoever talks shit about him if he can do that, and that's what he did. He went to the weigh-in where Bryant Jennings was between David Haye and Tony Bellew, and he confronted Jennings and basically said, "What's your problem? If you want to go right now, we can go right now." And Bryant Jennings was trying to cool down the situation. He didn't really want to be there. So it'll be interesting if this fight's made, because you just have DILLIAN WHYTE just poking the bear, basically. He'll just be poking Bryant Jennings throughout the build-up of the fight, trying to get under his skin, because that's what DILLIAN WHYTE's like. He likes to talk trash and get under his opponent's skin. Also, you've got heavyweight contender Dominic Breazeale. Dominic Breazeale also took Anthony Joshua 7 rounds, but he didn't really do as much as DILLIAN WHYTE did. He didn't hurt Joshua or anything. He just got beat up for 7 rounds. One thing about Dominic Breazeale is that he's very tough, and he showed that against Anthony Joshua. Some of the shots he was taking, and he was just crazy that he was still standing. But he lasted 7 rounds until eventually he just couldn't take it anymore and was stopped in the 7th, and then he came back against Izu Agono, who was a top heavyweight contender who made his US debut on the Gerald Washington Deontay Wilder undercard, and he fought Breazeale, and he knocked Breazeale down in the 4th round, but then Breazeale managed to knock him out in the 5th round, and it was a very entertaining fight. Both men hit very hard, and Dominic Breazeale showed a lot of heart once again, and his heart got him the victory that night. So him and DILLIAN WHYTE, I think that'll be a very entertaining build-up as well. Anyone DILLIAN WHYTE fights, in my opinion, the build-up's going to be entertaining, because DILLIAN WHYTE tries to get a rise out of anybody he fights, and that's one good thing about DILLIAN WHYTE. He can definitely sell a fight. Also, one of the people he could be facing is Lucas Browne. Don't know why Lucas Browne is even being mentioned, because we all know about Lucas Browne. He won the WBA title in fucking some ex-Soviet Union country, some fucking dodgy place, and he fought Chagayev and he got the victory, and then he was immediately stripped because he failed a drug test and he tried to say it was something he ate, that he was spiked and all of this shit, and he took the WBA to court, and then he managed to get another fight from the WBA for the WBA title, and then he failed another drug test, and I didn't really know what happened from then. I don't know what happened to Lucas Browne, but he's here as one of the names being mentioned, possibly to fight Lucas Browne, DILLIAN WHYTE on June the 3rd. So that's a bit of a weird one. DILLIAN WHYTE spoke about Lucas Browne in the past, saying he's rubbish, he's nothing more than a bouncer, he's a tattooed penis. Fucking DILLIAN WHYTE just don't care about anybody. Like, DILLIAN WHYTE will fight anyone. It doesn't matter if you've been done for doping or anything like that. He don't care. He would fight a prime George Foreman and Muhammad Ali in the same ring at the same night. That's how crazy I think DILLIAN WHYTE is. Like, he just don't care. He might not win, he might get knocked out, but he don't care. He'll fight anybody. And also a name being mentioned, Deontay Wilder. I don't really see this fight happening. I think if Anthony Joshua, if Deontay Wilder comes over, he'll be fighting Anthony Joshua, and that fight will be on pay-per-view. But anything's possible in boxing if you offer people the right money. Deontay Wilder could come over on June the 3rd and try and build the Anthony Joshua fight and possibly stop DILLIAN WHYTE in the fight and knock him out and try and get the public aware of him and try and build a big fight between him and Anthony Joshua later in 2017. And yeah, they're the four names being mentioned to fight DILLIAN WHYTE. I think any of these fights will be a good fight. I'm not really too keen on the Lucas Browne fight because I don't rate Lucas Browne personally. Like, I just think he's a big tattooed bouncer and all he can really do is punch. He's just a big punch. He hasn't really got no technical ability. He's very slow. But then you've got Dominic Breazeale, Brian Jennings and Wilder, and I think they'll be good fights for DILLIAN WHYTE. I possibly see it being either Breazeale or Jennings. I think it's going to be Dominic Breazeale because he came over before. I think if they offer him a good amount of money, he'll come over. He'll probably be confident he'll be able to beat DILLIAN WHYTE. So yeah, I expect it to be Dominic Breazeale, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was Brian Jennings, but I'd definitely be shocked if it was Lucas Browne or Deontay Wilder. Comment below your opinions.